Go on, warm up quick. Put your bag down, 3 laps.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man, we go higher. It's time to go higher. Let's take this thing.
Brixton BMX Club. I grew up in this area. My mum still lives locally. I'm still in South London myself, and yeah, I think there's like a hometown glory and passion about being a part of this club and being a part of this network of clubs in the area. But Brixton BMX holds a special place in my heart because it's been the sport that I've been good at, which is nice, particularly when you're a kid and you can't play football. You're not really good at like the conventional sports, but then you find the sport like BMX racing and you happen to have a bit of talent. So that was a really big like boost for my morale and my self-esteem. And now the club setting, I'm loving it. Yeah, we've gone from strength to strength. We've got a really good membership now. And now I've progressed from racer to coach, and I lead the coaching here at the club. And I'm loving it. I'm seeing a lot of development of the riders. I'm developing as a coach myself. Yeah, there's a lot to celebrate here. 3 people to tell me one thing that they enjoyed. Manuals.
I enjoyed doing jumps.
Jumps.
Having the camera.
It was a good day for that, wasn't it?
I started the Brixton BMX Club in August 1981 as a result of going to the Earls Court motorbike show. I saw indoor BMX racing there. And I spoke to Jeff Wiles and Sue Jarvis of UK BMX. So on the way back, I was taken to Brixton Skate Park in Stockwell Road, and asked the children there who were riding their bikes whether they wanted to go BMX racing, and they said yes. So I started the BMX club there and then.
It started about a mile away from here in Stockwell Skate Park. I think I was about 13 or 14 years old. In fact, yeah, I was about 14 years old. I was still in a children's home at the time. So when I used to come back to London, it was the whole BMX just come over from America. And I made a little bike out of bits and pieces. Went to Brixton Skate Park, and the concrete was still fresh there. And we rode in there, and one day, this little old man, well, he was actually a young man at the time, Ken Floyde, his name is, come walking past, and he said, wow, you're really talented on that bike. Would you like to come to a race? I just couldn't believe it. Someone actually, because no one ever gave me anything as a child, it's like, God, someone's going to take me to a race. So he hired a minibus and took a few of us from the skate park to Romford, which was a local BMX race, and I won the race. I'll tell you another guy who used to hang around the skate park. He was a little boy then, Mr. CK Flash. Yes, yes. This guy.
Many memories together. Look at it.
This is the guy that really shaped us as a young man when we started at Brixton Skate Park, going there as young kids, and then he used to come and do like a 360 and jump the wall into the main road, and watch him and people like Moses and him, and then cultivated us along with Edward's Bike Shop, which has been there from what, the 70s?
Yeah, yeah.
And they've helped young people like me realise that there's another world outside of London, which has shaped me to now go and inspire more young people that are now like the ages of 20s and 25 that are now teaching the younger kids. So we've created a great club, a great community. Obviously, the club started with Ken Floyde, who seemed to have found all of us from Brixton BMX Skate Park, which is next to the Brixton famous academy where they have the big concerts. And obviously, he came around and saw the talent and said, you know, we'd like to get you guys into BMX. He then went on to build the track, which is behind the police station in Brixton. That is now a development of flats, which is what happens to all land around the UK. And then he went on to this, built this. Like I said, it's been here at least 20, 30 years, this track. And obviously in the early 20s, 2003, he called me up while I was on my radio show on Choice FM and said, could I come down and help the kids in the local community start back into BMX? So I came back, discovered Kai White, who's the silver medalist and one of the fastest riders in the world now, and his brother Trey White, along with Quillen Isidore, and then I formed the club with Ken, and we basically started Brixton BMX. So when I was training here, when I first started the team, it was about being here every week. If it was raining, if it was snowing, it's just keeping the young people here and just making sure all the parents understand the journey of where we've come from 2003 to now, and make sure that we keep going and building the club and building the community, because you just don't know what young people are going through when they're at home, when they're at school, when they're in the local community, and something like this can be a big safe haven for young people to look up to elders that can take them from here to the Olympic teams, to the Olympic medals. So as long as they're consistent and we're here consistent, Brixton would always be the best. What I like the most about being in BMX is that you can meet so many different people that will help you along the way. So as a young person coming from South London, I never always had the parents that took me to the races. So I always used to take myself up, put the bag on my back, travel to like Birmingham, Manchester, Scotland, and you meet people that want to help you on the way, like Charlie. And what I like about it is that it can shape your mind. So when you're in London and you're involved in, you know, what the young people maybe shouldn't be doing, they can now shape your mind when you go to these areas and show you that it's not about that kind of life where you can be getting into trouble. If you behave yourself and you carry yourself properly, you can travel the world, which is what we've done, as well as being at Peckham and Brixton, bringing the community together, bringing the resources together and creating champions for the future.
I have 3 kids riding for the club, and I thought it was just about time to give something back to the club as well.
I started here when my kids were younger, and then I got bored and cold watching them, and then I got a bike and started riding. That was maybe 15 years ago. And now I'm one of the senior riders. I started coaching about 1.5 years ago. We have a wing session for kids with special needs, which again brings a lot of people in. These kids have various issues. Some are on the spectrum, some have ADHD. This is one of the great things about BMX. Kids that are on the spectrum who find it difficult sometimes being in a crowd, they can be part of a club and yet at the same time doing the sport on their own. And you can really see the benefit it gets from them. We've got one child who's been very, very cautious, and he's very worried about the world. And I really feel with him in particular, it's like he's doing a dangerous sport, and he can pop the tabletop now. And you see this kid developing and growing and being able to have tools to deal with the world.
Yeah, it's brilliant when you have, you know, your parent and a child on the gate at the same session together. You know, it's for all ages. It doesn't matter what age you are, you can do the sport.
Yeah, it is a sport for all ages. One of the guys I race, he's from Milton Keynes, he's 76. He only started when he was 65.
My kids have been saying to me, "Well, come on, Mom, you need to join the sessions, you need to join the sessions." And when the winter comes, I'm like, yeah, I need to join the sessions because I'm cold standing at the side of the track.
How I started.
So we've got the experts on the track right now. I think one of our standout riders only started racing like 2 years ago, but he's now the British #2, he's won national races. And that was at one of our holiday club sessions. He was just walking past with his family and we invited them on the track, and yeah, he's making history now, hopefully qualifying for the World Championships next year. Yeah, no, I'm proud of all of the riders that I coach.
So here I'm joined here with Jacob, and he is #1 regional, and we've had a massive race today, haven't we? Well, a big session to be honest, and he had me down on the gate, and yeah, it was sick to come out here, hang out with all the guys. This guy is fast.
I've been riding for almost 2 years, and the reason I love BMX is because everyone's always so kind and encouraging in my club, and they're like a family to me, and they're always cheering for me when I do races, and I do the same for them.
So what's your plans for the future? Where are you going with it?
For the future, I want to be a coach or a professional rider.
I'm pretty sure you'll do well at both, mate, I reckon. Shout out Brixton BMX.
Woo! Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when a ball drops. My man, we go higher. It's It's time to go. Let's take this thing. Take it to the top.